It was a Sunday evening in London, gloomy, close and stale. Maddening church bells of all degrees of dissonance, sharp and flat, cracked and clear, fast and slow, made the brick and mortar echoes hideous. Melancholy streets in a penitential garb of soot steeped the souls of the people who were condemned to look at them out of windows in dire despondency. In every thoroughfare, up almost every alley, and down almost every turning, some doleful bell was throbbing, jerking, tolling, as if the plague were in the city, and the dead carts were going round. Everything was bolted and barred that could possibly furnish relief to an overworked people. No pictures, no unfamiliar animals, no rare plants or flowers, no natural or artificial wonders of the ancient world, all taboo, with that enlightened strictness that the ugly South Sea gods in the British Museum might have supposed themselves at home again. Nothing to see but streets, streets, streets. Nothing to breathe but streets, streets, streets. Nothing to change the brooding mind or raise it up. Nothing for the spent toiler to do but to compare the monotony of his 7th day with the monotony of his 6 days. Think what a weary life he led, and make the best of it, or the worst, according to the probabilities. At such a happy time, so propitious to the interests of religion and morality, Mr. Arthur Clennam, newly arrived from Marseille by way of Dover, and by Dover coach the blue-eyed maid, sat in the window of a coffee-house on Ludgate Hill. 10,000 responsible houses surrounded him, frowning as heavily on the streets as they composed, as if they were every one inhabited by the 10 young men of the calendar's story, who blackened their faces and bemoaned their miseries every night. 50,000 lairs surrounded him, where people lived so unwholesomely that fair water put into their crowded rooms on Saturday night would be corrupt on Sunday morning. Albeit my lord, their county member, was amazed that they had failed to sleep in company with their butcher's meat. Miles of close wells and pits of houses, where the inhabitants gasped for air, stretched far away toward every point of the compass. Through the heart of the town a deadly sewer ebbed and flowed in the place of a fine fresh river. What secular want could the 1,000,000 or so of human beings, whose daily labour 6 days in the week lay among these Arcadian objects, from the sweet sameness of which they had no escape between the cradle and the grave, what secular want could they possibly have upon their 7th day? Clearly, they could want nothing but a stringent policeman. Mr. Arthur Clennam sat in the window of the coffee-house on Ludgate Hill, counting one of the neighbouring bells, making sentences and burdens of song of it, in spite of himself, and wondering how many sick people it might be changes of measure made it more and more exasperating. At the quarter, he went off into a condition of deadly lively importunity, urging the populace in a voluble manner to come to church, come to church, come to church. At the 10 minutes it became aware that the congregation would be scanty, and slowly hammered out in low spirits, "They won't come, they won't come, they won't come." At the 5 minutes it abandoned hope and shook every house in the neighbourhood for 300 seconds with one dismal swing per second as a groan of despair. "Thank heaven," said Clennam, when the hour struck and the bell stopped. But its sound had revived a long train of miserable Sundays, and the procession would not stop with the bell, but continued to march on. "Heaven forgive me,"